founder of the game. Oh, recording in progress. So I am the founder of the Game Shift Academy, and today we have a beautiful privilege to welcome Inga Gelford. I hope I'm saying your name right. And yes. Inga is all about creativity, and I love creativity because I believe everything comes from imagination, and everything comes from the flowers in our mind. And so I'm absolutely excited about hearing about your life's journey, hearing about your life's vision and mission, and basically I'm just excited about everything you have to say. So the stage is yours and excitement is ours.
Thank you very much, Tatiana, and thank you for providing this opportunity and all the amazing, wonderful things you're doing. I really appreciate it. And yeah, and thank you for this lovely welcome. I'm going to allow the conversation to flow at will. The intent is to explore the value of expressing creatively in whatever form. I think some people, I'm equally science brain and art brain. So I understand about the logic, science, believe it when you see it kind of thing. And sometimes people, as they get into professional endeavors, will be focusing entirely on that and not understand the value of expressing themselves creatively. And in my view, creativity equals life force energy, equals joy, equals love. And they're all facets of the same gem and not able to be separated. Mm-hmm. And I think that creating in some form is essential as eating, sleeping, taking care of your physical body, and it's part of taking care of your spiritual body and just the essence of who we are. I think that also that we have a joy blueprint. I think we're naturally coded to be joyful. And when we aren't creating in some way and we're just, putting one foot in front of the other and doing our profession or whatever thing it is, I don't think that we're allowing that joy blueprint to be fully expressed, and but it's there. And I think that there's as many ways to create as there are people, and that's part of the creativity. For some person, creating accounting spreadsheets might, bring them alive. They love it, and it's very creative for them. Obviously there's visual arts and music and dance and all of those things. So I think that one of my main thesis of this gathering today is to anchor in and really explore the nature of creativity and its value. So
that's beautiful. So how about you yourself? What does make you think? What is that you truly like? What is your expression of creativity?
Well, I have a little trouble because I have too many. I'm a visual artist, and I'm also a musician, and I've been very much into dance. Not as much lately, but I do catch myself dancing to myself in my kitchen. But I've done years of dance instruction, and ballroom dance mostly, and gardening. I'm a very big gardening addict, and the photo I posted of the poppies was from my garden, and yeah, that
Perfect.
But
So
there's probably more. I forget.
that's cool. That's cool. So when did you discover that creativity is such a vital part of your body? And obviously, like you said, like you, I believe creativity is the life force in us, and that's what actually makes us wake up, get up in the morning, because we want to do something. And if we can't do something, then we don't feel fulfilled, and we don't seem to be happy in a way. So when did you realize that creativity is a vital part of your body, like analytically, and what was the journey?
Well, I found myself doing visual art. That was the first thing, at a very young age. And I posted a drawing of a horse because I've drawn when I was little. I was fascinated with horses. We did have horses when I was growing up too, and so I've drawn, hundreds and hundreds of horses. But I was, in the story time in elementary school, and they say take out a piece of paper and doodle draw or whatever while we read the story, and so I was just drawing horses. And then I took every art class in high school, and then I thought about being an art major in college, but I switched to biology and then microbiology, and I got a master's in microbiology. And so I'm quite established in the logical science mind as well. I think maybe answering your question better, it's not until more recently that I really come to realize how essential it is that we create in some way and spend some time. I recommend at least spending 30 seconds. Something's better than nothing. Sometimes I go to my art table, my drafting table, and at the end of the day, and my day's so full, and then I just work on a piece for 1 minute. Longer is better. but there's other times where it's hours, but otherwise I'd never get finished. I did bring a few of my smaller pieces of art that I could show, but
absolutely.
I also here's another creative outlet of mine is I forgot I'm a storyteller, and I wrote this book called Sophie Ma's Magical Glasses. And it's I actually did not do the art because I had too much to do for self-publishing and writing the story and getting it going. A lovely and I also was very happy to promote a young artist, Hannah Patty, who did all of these amazing illustrations in here. And it's about these magic glasses where you can see energy, and I'm trying to find a picture of her wearing them. You can see energy and the auras and how your words affect others. And so the kind
beautiful.
word,
that's a very, very nice thing.
Yeah.
I think, you know what, I think this is actually very interesting what you're touching now, because obviously me being a therapist, mentor, coach, whichever label, yeah, wonderful. Wonderful. That's what I'm realizing, that really there is proper education missing since we are kids. And I mean proper education by actually understanding what you just said, understanding the value of your words, the power of your words, the power of your own thoughts, the ability to understand who you are and how you should perceive yourself and others, and basically more of a gratitude, love, compassion, sympathy, things like that. And obviously that's beautiful what you're touching with your book, because if children, obviously adults, start to understand through the magic glasses the power of their words, that's pretty amazing. So awesome, simple stories but powerful. Sometimes a small story when we are kids can influence us positively or negatively, but I would like to focus on the positive until the end of our life. I remember actually one of the books that had a huge influence on me, maybe until today, was about I was a child, whatever, 6-7 years old. And my first book, or one of the first one I read, was about a girl who was always coming from a space of gratitude, and no matter what happened to her, she could see the bright side of it. And I so wanted to be like her, and I became her until today. So yeah, well done for your book. It just reminded me of my own childhood now. Thank you.
Wow, that sounds like a very powerful book. What was this title? That one.
Oh, I was 7-year-old. Don't ask me. I'm 45
Oh.
now. I don't know what happened yesterday. I barely remember Eric.
I wanted also to note, well, in my view, as we educate children, I think that keeping the arts is absolutely essential. I mean, and I'm a scientist, and that's hugely valuable. I believe teaching about the arts and giving and showing children all different kinds of artistic outlets to see what they resonate with, not just draw a picture on a piece of paper, some in all kinds of ways, should be provided to children as essential, not cut when the budget gets cut. And I would put it equal with the science and math. And because when you think about it, how do we have anything? How do we have our iPhones or this computer? It was creativity. How do we come up with solutions for anything, for something small in our life, for big issues in the world? It's creative thinking. It's thinking outside the box. It's thinking, imagining things that haven't existed yet. And then our logic side, science side, or technical side can put those things into reality, into the physical world. Yeah. So that's essential too. I mean, we're here in physical bodies, and it's really essential to live in this physical body. And that's why.
And I also might be going to add, yes, we have the physical body, which is in some ways, I'm very happy to have exactly the one I have. And it's great to be in a physical body, what an experience. But at the same time, creativity is what actually can leave the physical body in the ground while you can actually go anywhere you want. That's our way to fly. That's our way to actually get out of the physical body and go anywhere we want to be. And in fact, I'm always surprised. It still surprises me until today when I have new clients. They often don't know how to dream. They often don't know how to use their imagination. They often don't know how to be creative in their own world. So, and that's the other thing, again, speaking about the children, as kids, we are very creative, and then in the process, we might become like you, biologist. But you kept your creativity, but some don't, and that's where the trouble, I think, starts. And then all of a sudden it's a problem to know where you even had it, or what is your goal, what is your dream. Yeah. And if you're not creative enough, if you kind of like switched off that switch of creativity and you can't even know where you had it, it's gonna be very difficult to even get there, because you don't have the creativity to even imagine the journey to it. So like I said, quite often we have to start from this very beginning to fire the creativity in people. So it's very valuable what you have to say today.
Well, and I think that's another fabulous gift that the people who are already flowing creativity in the arts, or visual, music, dance, whichever, because it models it for those who may have lost it, and it can inspire them and get their imagination stimulated and opened up to what they can do, or what might not be possible for them before, because they couldn't imagine it. And I think if we can have an expansive imagination, wow, that just opens up so much in our life. And adventures, or if you didn't even think that you could travel around the world and you couldn't imagine it, and then you read this book and well, kind of like the movie Amalia. I mean, Amelie. Do you see that? It's subtitled. I think it's French. And the father lost his wife and her father, and he just stayed at home all the time. And she went to a travel agent. She stole one of his gnomes from his garden and went to a travel agent and gave it to travelers. And so they'd send back pictures of the gnome in all different amazing places and mailed it to him. So finally he stimulated his imagination. He thought, well, maybe I should go. And he started traveling, and he was much happier. Anyway, I love that movie, Amelie. Yeah, so I think that's almost a duty of those who are expressing creatively and have a amazing imagination and story. I think we're hardwired to appreciate and really be moved by story. And that's why I've got there's the book I wrote. It's a series, and I haven't finished writing the other ones, and I'm going to illustrate the next ones, just because I enjoy doing that. And
do you have some of your drawings? Do you have some of your drawings to show us?
Yeah, I do. I have all kinds of different ones. Well, this first one I'll show is the new magic glasses for the next book, and they are, I don't know if you can see it really well.
Yes.
It's got a third eye gem in there, and it's just a mythical creature. I haven't named it yet. And you can look through the wings of this, and it's alive, so it kind of adjusts and on your face and balances, and you look through its wings and you see things that you couldn't see with your normal eyes.
And that's cool. So it's not exactly glasses, but it's this kind of sort of dragonfly that actually changes your perspective. I love that.
Yeah. Right.
So how does the story go then? So does the I'm gonna call it dragonfly or this mystical creature. So does he or she need to be with the person all the time, or she just appears and disappears? What is the story behind this little creature?
Well, the original magic glasses were Lydia, the main character in the book, works with her grandmother in the garden, and they make flower essences, and so she was speaking the empowering word in the flower essences that were being prepared for those in the village, and so the Lydia wondered why, and so the grandmother went to get out of this box, and so they were living inside a wooden box, and she opens it up and the wings open, and then it sits on her face, and she walks around and she sees amazing things because of these magical glasses. So the next ones, they have an extra gem, so she can see microscopically like into the plant cells and what's going on, and she'll see the nature spirits and how they help the plants grow, and then there's going to be adventures. I have to finish writing it, so that's all kind of in process, so I'm not sure which direction it's going to go, so I won't say right now, but it's going to be some of those elements and adventure. And
that's absolutely amazing. And so what is Lydia's life? What is her background? Does she have mom and dad, or how does she live? Tell us a little bit about Lydia.
Yeah, she has a mom and dad, and they're not really seen or mentioned in the first story. And but she's very tight with her maternal grandmother, and that grandmother is a sage of the village. People come to her for healing, and so she has lots of herbs hanging in her kitchen and the beautiful garden, and she understands about nature spirits. And I haven't written about how she came to have these magic glasses yet. So there's a lot of places that the story could go, and I've been kind of sitting on it for quite a long time. I published that book in 2012, so it's time to
move her.
Keep moving on, and at least I recently finished the new magic glasses.
Better late than never.
Yeah, and open up the creativity again. Perfect.
Yeah.
That definitely sounds wonderful. I'm very drawn to sci-fi or fantasy movies, and especially when there is a beautiful story. And like I said, sometimes the books for kids, if they're written wisely by a nice lady like you, they can open up so much in an adult. Yeah. So so that's really, really cool. Fantastic. So what do you do actually. So what do you do? What makes you happy? What is your everyday job? How do you make money? So who are you? What do you do?
I actually right now work as a wine chemist in an independent lab. So I analyze wine, alcohol percent, the sugar levels, the pH, all the things the winemakers need to know about their wine as it progresses through the fermentations and before bottling, after bottling, all that.
Did you say wine?
Wine,
I just
yes.
start to like you even more. Now I don't know what I like more about you.
I make wine too, but I haven't in the last couple of years for various reasons. But I've been a winemaker too myself, and it's been good for my job because then I understand the other side of it. Because every day in my job, it's very technical, and what we do and look at is kind of different than. I mean, the winemakers have another perspective about the whole winemaking process, and so I was able to understand it better by making wine myself. And of course, then I have wine. I've made Oregon. I live in Oregon, and in the middle of the wine country, and Pinot Noir, a varietal that's is common in Burgundy, France. It goes other places too, but anyway, I make that wine. I made that wine, and it's a delicate, beautiful, wonderful red wine, and it's fun to have my own to share with friends, and I make plenty that that I can share it. And I did make my own wine labels for it, and here is art. It's not the label, but here's the art for one of my
beautiful. Yeah,
that's depicting a lunar eclipse, because the year I made this the wine for this label, it was a lunar eclipse. The moon was eclipsing as it was rising, and it was coming to be, it was sunset before we finished, and we saw the moon. And obviously the moon doesn't go in that pattern, it's stylized. But it was just a stylized depiction of that. I have this was another label, art for another label. I don't know, it's harder to see, it's mixed media. Oops.
No, it's beautiful. Yeah, very nice.
This is a vineyard, and of course the moon. I love the moon. I'm really a moon watcher. And let's see. Oh, then here's another wine label that I made. It was actually it was a blend of a white and a red, and it was kind of odd kind of thing. And so I called it Black Sheep Cuvée. And it has these silly little sheep rope swinging, and, and like the black sheep is going, well, are you gonna watch, or are you gonna come and swim, or what? And obviously sheep are having a great time there, so they're thinking outside the box, they're being creative. It's like, why not? Let's go for a swim.
Absolutely.
Anyway,
No, it's wonderful. And obviously I believe it's incredible, like for somebody who loves creativity, how much more creative you can get in combination with the nature. So you need to be able to work with the soil, you need to be able to work with the plants, you need to know, like you said, even scientifically, what you need to give in order to have something as awesome as Pinot Noir. And then you even give it your own label, and it's like a year-long process, because each time of the year there is something to do in the vineyard. So absolutely wonderful. Yes, I love it when people actually live what they preach. Beautiful. Yeah. But maybe you wanted to show us more. Sorry, I cut you.
No, that's fine. I will show a little bit more. This my boyfriend he's does a business called Birdscapes, and he puts bluebird boxes up and helps advise people to bring the songbirds to their yard. And I did this art for a business card of his.
Nice.
Just he's not specifically about vineyards, but I love drawing vines, so I did that. And done a whole bunch of like detailed watercolors, still life, and detailed botanical drawing of this lavender. I don't know if you can see it very well. That's a pen and ink. And then it kind of, I've been doing it all my life. So I've done business cards for people and their artwork for their thing and my own, and then I do mine.
Nice.
Drew all those things. But what else? I got it all scattered around here now.
Would be interesting to see your work desk. We just see that you're like going around, and we can only imagine.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, right here I could show you. But it's right here is my office. I'm in my office, and my art tables in the other part of the house.
I see.
With all my I'd have to walk, and it has all my paints, and I'm a little bit of an addicted person for trying out different art materials. So I have oils and watercolors and acrylics and pastels and pen and ink and I don't know, just lots of things, and mixed. Right. I do mixed media like this one. Where is it? Oh, now I've messed my stuff all up. I got, the one of those I showed you was a mixed media, and then this one is a mixed media too. It's just abstract, and like this one I painted. Sometimes I think carefully, like the magic glasses, or like this kind of art and all. I think very carefully, and I draw it out, and then I create the art. But like this mixed media one, I have bigger ones, but it's easier to show you the little ones. I don't know what it's going to look like before I start it. And I just start painting, and sometimes I have some bigger paintings that are out in the other part of the house, and I especially with acrylic, it works well. I paint something, I don't like it, so I paint over it, and I paint over it, and I keep painting, and then until I like it. And with acrylic, it just builds texture and interest. And in one of the paintings, which I didn't bring in, I could have, because it's smaller, I mean, small enough, but it has the moon in all the paintings. Otherwise, the final 8th painting, or however many there were, doesn't look anything like the first one. And I think one thing I also want to encourage people about is, if whatever you're doing, and I'll refer to visual art right now. Say you want to draw and you want to, depict things realistically, and you try and it doesn't work and it's frustrating. It's just, well, I wasn't any better at art than anybody else. I just wanted to do it bad enough. So I kept with it, and I got instruction. And so people who say, oh, I can't draw. Well, that's probably not true. You just don't want to draw bad enough to keep at it. And that's okay. Do something else. You don't need to create amazing art. Like a lot of my abstracts, again, I don't have as many of the abstracts here, but I didn't draw anything. I just started painting or mixing media together, and I break the rules. You're not supposed to put watercolor and acrylic and pastels and wax-based things together, and I do it anyway. And the danger is that it could start peeling off, or not really work it out at long term. So far it's worked out great. So it doesn't, this media doesn't separate from each other. And if it did, then it would be okay. That art was for the moment, and now it's not.
But, it almost sounds like I love your style, because first of all, it sounds like life. You start to live it somehow, and then you might not like it, so you start to live it differently, and you start to live it differently. Yeah. And if you play by the rules, your life might be perfect, but maybe you haven't had so much fun. But maybe if you do things against the rules, maybe you have a little bit more fun. Maybe it doesn't look that great at the end, but it was a fun creative process. And I'm totally 100% like you. I very often, when I'm starting a new project, I often choose not to get education on it, just to keep the creativity. And obviously there are some things like where you need to be guided, because obviously you want to have results, and you want to have results fast. So when it comes to work, I might I might take courses, but when it comes to creativity, I often don't take any course. And maybe when I feel like, okay, I've learned enough, then I start to take courses to understand, you know, like you said, how to make it actually stick or stay forever or,
Yeah.
or do it. But, you know, I just recently bought singing bowls, which is something I'm going to share with the group soon. And I love it. I totally, you know, it's the Tibetan bowls, handmade from Nepal, and they sing in and they sending these frequencies. And I use it for massages, I use it for yoga, I use it for my personal practice. So I just love it. Right now, I'm just all about the singing bowls. And exactly like you said, you know, I just go and play. And I even start to take clients. I even charge them money, even though I'm not really sure what I'm doing, but it works and it's awesome. And I'm actually learning through the process, like why they sound, why they don't sound. Obviously, I have lots of experience already. So yeah, you know, I really like what you say. Just play, don't worry about the rules, and break them even if you want, just to see how it is, and you can always improve later. And one more thing, I am one of those people who doesn't really have the gift of creating like a beautiful paintings, but I love to paint anyway. I haven't done it for years now, but at some point of my life, I used to paint a lot, and I didn't think much of it, and I would never really show it to anyone, but it made me happy to create, and it made me happy to paint. And then when people saw it, they were willing to buy it, and they were willing to do like, you know, little exhibition, and they loved it. And I never went for it because I was like, this is like a child, you know, like if 10-year-old does it, yeah, cool, maybe, you know. But but anyway, it's I would also encourage people to do whatever they feel like doing, or even don't feel like doing, because just because you might not like it or might be too strict on you or might have different standards, it doesn't mean others won't love it. So that was my shocking experience, that people actually loved my childlike drawings.
I love that story because it illustrates so many things. You were doing it because you love doing it, and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
And that, you know, maybe your inner critic or whatever, maybe not, I don't know, wasn't realizing that others were going to really value your art that you created. And I also wanted to add to that be okay. I encourage people to be okay if you painted or did, you know, whatever your creative thing is. I'll use painting for now. And you created something and you really don't like it and it looks terrible to you. Be okay with that. You know, it's a journey, and you learn something by doing that, and you are flowing the creativity. And I think when we accept that some painting we might really dislike it, you know, first of all, another person might like it. Second of all, if you want to throw it away, go ahead, it's your painting. You know, if you think it looks terrible, you know, is the freedom to create something that just is, and it doesn't have to be, you know, beautiful in your eyes or anyone else's, or you know, a lot of art isn't necessarily meant to be beautiful. It's meant to awaken or inform or stir an emotion, or yeah, I mean, a lot of the artists that are really made an impact didn't create art that was necessarily beautiful to the eye, and it was very profound, however, in its rendition of the, you know, whatever thing, the topic or the, you know, image or whatever thing it was. But yeah, so I just having that flow and continuing with it, because like I expressed in the beginning, I think that creativity, joy, and love are all part of the same aspects of our being, and flowing all of those things as much as possible. And I think joy can also include all of the emotions, because we're humans, and we'll feel grief, we'll feel sadness, we'll feel frustration or anger and all these things. And I think that's part of the joy of living. Now, being stuck there, that's suffering, stuck in pain or grief or all that. That's different. And to find a process to move through those emotions into, which I think our normal set point of joy is the aim, is that's the alignment with why we're here on the planet, in my view. Yeah. I wanted to, you know, I'm not sure. I can't tell who of people I've invited are here. Sorry if I'm not saying hi to you because I'm not sure how to. I'm not on the Facebook. I'm just in the Zoom. Maybe could get on my phone on Facebook now I think about it. But anyway, Tatiana, maybe you could tell a little more about what you do and a little bit about your journey.
I'll definitely do, but I have one more question for you. So obviously being so creative, are you helping others to sparkle up that creativity? So obviously you said that you have a day job in the lab, creating wine, making wine and being all about wine, but are you actually helping others to ignite that creativity in them? Is that part of your life as well?
Yes, actually I'm a coach. And I'm expanding into that coaching. And what I'm focusing in on right now is successful professional, more women than men, but it can include both, that are very, their life is mundane. They're not feeling a life spark. They're successful in every other way. They're flowing the money. They do their job well, and they have lots to that's going well in their life, yet that spark, that life force energy, that creativity isn't really happening. So I am expanding into reaching out to those kinds of people to help them see the value and that it's really essential to their life, and that we're here to create, be joyful, love, and not just put one foot in front of the other doing our job. Even though the job can be very creative and inspire that life energy, but if it isn't, I want to help people discover that for themselves fully and come into joy.
Okay, so how do you do that?
Well, I offer one-on-one coaching, and I'm thinking about putting together, I don't have anything scheduled yet. It would be good if I did right now, in case anybody watching was interested. Like a workshop for exploring and tapping into, and tools for if you don't feel like you have a creative bone in your body, helping a person understand that that is absolutely not true, and finding that using I don't know, I've quite a few tools that I could tap into. And
tell us about the tools. I'm all about it.
Well, one of them might be understanding, just really identifying what you're telling yourself. Like, I don't have a creative bone in my body. Well, why do you think that? When did you first feel that? Whose voice do you hear when you say that in your mind? Is that your voice? Is it a parent or a friend or somebody? Did something happen? Usually beliefs about ourselves are formed in our first few years of life, and we don't realize how strong, how influential, how much our young child self is running the show in our mind and dictating what we do and what we believe and what we think is possible. And so one of the tools would be to really dive in and talk to that young person that we each are. It's it's part of us. It's and find out, get curious about that belief and why.
So when you find out what happened to them, maybe the parents told them, "Oh my God, that's a horrible singing noise you make," or "What a horrible picture." So you find out where that come from, and what do you do with it then?
Yeah. Well, I would ask them, is it, a lot of times you can't just say, all right, let's replace this with a new belief that you're a beautiful singer, even though you think you're a horrible singer. You could say, is there something, you see that, and you see the origin of this belief, and is it true? And where are you feeling it in your body? And kind of get them to feel into where that, when they think about I'm a horrible singer, there's several steps that can be gone through to kind of bring this out in the open and allow it to be integrated and transmuted into something that serves them. And could they believe that they could be a wonderful singer with maybe a little relaxation, or maybe some training, or maybe just a little tiny belief that tomorrow I could sing better than yesterday, maybe a tiny bit better, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and make little progression towards the singing that they want to be, and that's the singer that they want to be. And I have to think about. I mean, there's I have something I'm putting together that's. And it's called the quantum alignment chart, and it kind of reverse engineers. This is another tool that I can't tell about it real strongly right now because it's in formulation, but I got a vision about it, and it's been in my mind, and I feel an inspiration. And it's finding your target, identifying a target, and reverse engineering how to get there. And on the way, you'll find things to, there's going to be a little section where you compost beliefs that aren't serving you, or habits. And those are, the compost is fertile ground for growing what you do want. And it's not a rejecting of some way you've been, or believe or whatever, or somebody told you. It's composting it into something more. And it's also has a section of forgiveness, and really the power of that will align, get you aligned in with the actions that need to happen to get to your target. And when the mind and the body, when the mind and the heart are aligned, then the body will take the actions. So it's I call it quantum, I might name it something else, but I call it quantum alignment chart because it is getting you aligned, your mind and your heart aligned, and I put another aspect in, your spiritual essence. Bringing that in to alchemize it into being able to make the choices, take the actions with your body. Because obviously you can sit there and go, I want to be a beautiful singer. You're gonna have to take some actions. You can't just, it's all of the three things together. There's choices to be made with your mind and understanding and beliefs, and there's the heart flow, desire, and what lights you up, what feeds you, what's feeding your soul, and then that creates a activation energy that causes the action that happens. There was I'm in a Power Life Academy with Mike Kempsky, and he has a Power Life Principles, and I want to give him credit for what I just said. I've learned from him, and so that's I'm going to give a shout out to him. I don't think he's listening, but give him a shout out. There's another tool, and this is still in the early phases, but I'm going to show it. Let's see, find it over here somewhere. And then, there's a bunch of coaching tools. I have a whole notebook of them, and various, I've been studying and been certified in all these, I've got a certification in neuro-linguistic programming and lots of things. So lots of tools. However, the ones I'm focusing on are these, they're coming in my mind, are a little bit different. Let's see if I find that real quick here. It's in my, where is my, I have a file with this. I've got it all organized, obviously. I can't find it. I have files of, I keep everything so I can find it, but that's funny, isn't it? I'm looking at all my files, I'm probably staring right at it.
I have one big file where everything is, and I never look into it ever again. Once my stuff is filed, it's basically gone. It's great for we have a cat coming and going, and the cat loves to sleep on that pile, so it's good for something, I guess.
Yeah, I found the file and then I just dumped out all its contents on the floor accidentally. But so another tool that I'm not sure how this is all going to work, but I'm going to show you all anyway, is it's called the Prism Rainbow Metric. And so there's two prisms here. This is just a quick drawing that I did, and I kind of blurred out my colors. So life force energy, love, source energy comes in the prism, and then like here's us, and then it refracts into colors, and I might make each of these colors have some meaning. And so this is like our body here in the middle. The life force comes into us and either can dead end here and not do anything, or we flow it and we embed in this rainbow full of colors our essence, our creativity, our love, our all kinds of things. And then it goes out the other prism and it's white light again out to the world or other people or the universe or whatever.
I love it.
So I'm not sure exactly how I'm gonna.
No, I love it. No, it's I think visuals always help. And just because we have 10 minutes 30, and I'm gonna quickly answer your question. It's today about you, not about me. But yeah, basically, if I'm gonna put it in a very small nutshell, I'm definitely using NLP because obviously we are creating the world that we think and speak in, our self-talk, right? So NLP, most people probably know, neuro-linguistic programming. So basically teaching people to listen to themselves and find out if whatever they say is actually what they want to be hearing, right? And if they really want to hear it, then align yourself. If you want to be hearing sad things, then you probably want to be sad. If you don't want to change it, then be happy you're sad. I'm exaggerating. Obviously, the whole point is for them to realize they need to change the self-talk and they need to change the talk, like you said with Lydia. It's the power of word is incredible. It's been, I'm not religious, but it's already said in the Bible. So yeah, NLP is definitely a vital part. Then I use quantum healing, quantum world, because again, our dear good friend Albert Einstein, Tesla, and many of them, they came up with incredible ideas of the mechanics of how this world works. And once you start to look into it, and you don't need to be a scientist. I'm not a scientist really. I'm just like, whatever average intelligent person. So being average intelligent person, when you start to look into these scientific data and facts, they're absolutely fascinating. So once you start to understand that you can create literally miracles, or you can really create the world you want just by understanding the mechanics of life, that's pretty amazing. And then I love to use hypnosis because, I've learned one thing. It doesn't matter what people tell you. It doesn't really matter that much what you say to yourself. You still need to have a experience. It's the experience that's actually changing your perception, your view, because I can be the awesomest coach on this planet, and I can be telling you the most amazing things you've ever heard, but it's not going to change you much. You will be like, oh, interesting. Oh, I'll give it a thought. I can try, but it's actually hypnosis that is going to provide the final experience, so you can change whatever needed to be changed. And then of course, like I said, I'm 45 years old and I've been in personal self-development my whole life. It started probably with the book of the girl who saw the bright side of everything. So then of course you always throw in the mixture your own life and your own personal whoever you are and whatever you did. I still have very colorful life. Last few weeks it's very easy, which it hasn't been in many years, but I've been through a lot of incredible falls and rises. So it's very easy to kind of understand where people coming from. I don't get attached to their pain. I don't get attached to their fear, because most likely I've been there in one form or another. So yeah, so incredible life experience. Thank God, thanks universe. And then obviously all these techniques. And like you said, being creative, being very, very creative. And in fact, maybe Eric can say something about it, because Eric has just finished his 6-week course with me. And he has also done 1 month free. So we've done about 10 weeks together. So maybe he can also say, not exactly so much about me, but how was your journey? Oh my God, you look good in that hairstyle. I haven't noticed that yet. Good job. Your hairstyle is amazing. Haven't seen you this.
Well, you said you didn't know who I was when we started.
Yeah, I haven't seen you this cultivated for a while. Yeah, so maybe Eric, it's not about saying how awesome I am, but maybe you can tell us a little bit more about your creativity and where you are now, where you were before. And unfortunately, we only have about 7-8 minutes, then Inga has to go to work. So if you can just pick the highlights.
Yeah, well, you start out like you kind of know you have a problem and you want to get someplace, and then you have to look at where you are now, and then define and like how you are now, how you're thinking now, and then look at where you want to be and how you would think at that point in the future. So you can make affirmations and keep on repeating them and look at them every day. But I also really like the hypnosis, like Tatiana was saying about going through experiences. So it's like you lived it. It's a whole lot different than just reading something, your affirmations for the day or something and repeating it. And sure, you're going to be that way. But yeah, I found to make the final leap, I needed to do the hypnosis for sure.
Mm-hmm. And Eric, we have 6 more minutes. They can be all yours if you have questions for Inga, or if you want to share a little bit more of your path, whatever. The last 6 minutes are yours.
So the joy blueprint,
Mm-hmm.
you didn't show us a diagram of that.
Yeah, good point. I haven't created it yet.
Oh, okay.
These things are yet to be created. I did want to add that I've been studying hypnosis too, and I've already been doing and know more about EFT, emotional freedom technique, because I'm agreeing with Tatiana and Eric that you can do affirmations all day long, and if you don't, you've got to align with it. You have to believe it, or find an affirmation that's maybe only a slight bit away from what you do believe, to move yourself towards what to change a trajectory. So it's
Oh, they're highly beneficial, and then narrowing them down, but then you can't really get out of the body that you're in or the situation you're in without making a really big change.
Right. So small changes, is little steps at a time, gets you there. And I've seen an illustration where there's a ladder and the first rung is really high, but if you have little rungs, all at the bottom, then you can get up the ladder. But you need to, if you set it too high and different from what you actually believe, then it's not going to work. You're not going to, and being, and a coach can provide that sacred space, that container, that and see the greatness for you, that helps the person come into that place of believing and ability to get to where they want to go. But anyways, I don't want to take up your time, Eric. Go ahead.
No, I asked you a question. That's a good answer. So with your prism, so you have the first triangle inverted, and then we get a spectrum, and then it increases until it hits the other triangle, And you said people are in the middle. So why are they in the middle and not at the end? Or the light is flowing still outwards if the people are in the center part of the rainbow?
Yeah, it's still a work in progress. Yet what I'm envisioning is the rainbow representing it. It might change. I show you this, and it might next time you see it, it might be completely different. That would illustrate it better. But that was my first drawing about it. What I'm wanting to depict,
I liked it.
Is
I wrote it down.
Oh, all right. What I'm wanting to depict is the flow of life force energy, love, creativity going through our human spacesuit, and how we imprint on it. We put our special energy into, so life force flows into us and out of us. It's not stagnant. And the prisms, the double prisms with the refracted light creating a rainbow, it just popped in my head. And I'm not sure if it's a great model yet, but it depicts how that maybe we can alchemize this life, the white light of life force coming in, love, source, whatever, universe, God, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
And it our little, I think about, in the book it talks about our heart center as being a gem. And so again, the model isn't quite fitting entirely, prism, gem, facets, how to put this together in an illustration that kind of makes sense. And it's just an illustration. It's not, supposed to be fact of what's inside of our bodies. It's just a model that might be fun to look at and create some awareness and exploration and stimulate creativity. So it's just kind of, I had the idea of that we light and life force comes into us, and our unique expression going back out, flowing out of us is how beautiful and valuable it is. In each person it's different. And so I was looking to make a little illustration about that and apply it to my coaching, so it helps someone realize their value and the value of the creativity that they would flow for themselves and for others. I think that's where I was going with that prism, double prism illustration.
Yeah, I think I would see like lots of different colors coming into the person. It's one point, and then after passing through them, then refracting back out.
Yeah, that might be another, it might evolve into something more like that.
I think, you got to put the person into the diagram somehow. But I really liked it. Thank you.
Wonderful. Well, Inga, thank you very much. If you want to say one last message to the world, you can. It's 9 o'clock and I know you have to go to make wine.
Well, test wine in this case, and not the test wine for the winemakers. But today's not a winemaking day, but I understand. What do I want to say? I really appreciate having this opportunity. And I have a little bit of flexibility, so it's not, I don't have to leave immediately, but and it's I'm feeling very joyful about my stepping into more and more my coaching and helping people, being the facilitator for other people's greatness. And I'm excited about that, and looking forward to connecting with people in that regard, with the one-on-one coaching and workshops or masterminds, or I'm creating a course too. So lots in the works, and that I got to pick one thing and focus on that. I tend to pick a million things, and that doesn't work out so well. But any other messages? I guess I mostly said it. Create, open up your heart big, and let your beautiful essence flow, bless other people with it. And I discovered I had another capacity expansion about learning how to use my eyes to flow only love and not notice anything critical about other people. I haven't mastered that yet, don't get me wrong. Yet I expanded my capacity for that. And what happened was I felt it expand, the capacity, and I felt an added sense of bliss. And the thought is that this life force energy love and flowing it freely and using my eyes to do that as another way, it was like food, like addictive food, and it's something, energy, and once people understand that, they will choose that over anything else because it's really amazing. And it's like, wow, I just plugged into the best drug ever. I mean, I had before, but it was an expanded capacity of that. And so
I think that's
really
a beautiful last message to say. Basically, expand the love, and basically that's the basic of all teachings, right? Like, have no judgment and expand the love, because we still don't know what's going on, and we don't know what's right or wrong. We don't know what's right and black. So why not just love?
Yeah, exactly.
Beautiful.
That's always been my aim, but I just expanded it. I caught some areas where I wasn't doing that, and expanded love into those areas. And so it's just like, wow.
Beautiful. Well, Inga, thank you very much. Eric, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We also we thank everybody who watched us and contributed. And please give us likes. Tell us what you think about Inga. Tell us what you think about creativity. Tell us what you think about love. So whoever made it all the way here, please leave some comments. You'll very much appreciate it. Thanks a lot, everybody, and we'll see you with another beautiful
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Tatiana, Eric. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye, everybody.